Hi, I'm Mike, and this is a Mikeonomics quick update. The Bank of England has once again published its results and usage data as of 8th of July, and as with last week, we're going to have a look at the usage data for the CCFF. The Bank of England has purchased £948 million of commercial paper in the 7 days from 1st of July. Just as a quick reminder of how it works, banks and other lenders will lend to companies against a promise to pay in the form of commercial paper. The bank or lender then sells the commercial paper to the Bank of England in exchange for central bank reserves. Therefore, £948 million of central bank reserves has been created last week for the purpose of purchasing commercial paper from the banks and other lenders. In a previous episode, I've discussed the CCFF in detail. So this takes the total amount of outstanding commercial paper held by the Bank of England to £18.2 billion, an increase of £600 million from last week. An additional 6 businesses have been approved for CCFF issuance, and the number of businesses with outstanding commercial paper held by the CCFF has increased by 3 to 65. We just about have enough data points now to start a chart, but 4 weeks isn't really going to give us much insight, but I like a good chart, so here it is. The blue line is the total amount of commercial paper held by the CCFF, and the orange line is the total number of companies with outstanding commercial paper held by the CCFF. The dotted lines are trend lines. As I said, we can't really take much from this, but we're seeing that the number of companies increase while the total amount has remained relatively constant. The trend line for total amount is increasing, but negligibly. We will get a better view over time, but I would obviously expect there to be a correlation between the number of companies and the total amount. Let's have a look at the companies themselves. Again, I'll pick out the changes that I can see, but I want to point out that being on the list doesn't necessarily mean that a company is in financial trouble, but it does mean that the company has struggled to find short-term financing in the open market, certainly not at affordable rates. We know this because a company does not want to appear on the list if they don't have to. So BASF still have the most commercial paper held by the CCFF, with much of the list remaining the same as last week. Technic FMC have nearly doubled their loan amount with the CCFF to 600 million. Green King, the brewery, new on the list this week with 300 million. Honda Motor Europe have increased slightly. People for Places are also new with 150 million pounds. Amcor UK Finance have continued to decrease theirs, now with 120 million from an initial 300 million. Hammerson PLC are new on with 75 million, and Flight Centre UK also new with 65 million. Marks and Spencer have paid off the 200 million they had outstanding from last week, so while they're still on the list, they're technically not on the list anymore. It's quite likely that the general loosening of credit market conditions through quantitative easing has meant companies like M&S have been able to secure funding through normal routes. So that's it for this quick update. Thanks for watching. I'm Mike, and this is Mikeonomics.